What if one of the world's toughest sanctions wasn't stopping billions of dollars in oil trade at all? What if, despite years of U.S. pressure, Iran allegedly continued moving massive amounts of crude, worth an estimated $6 billion, through a complex international network? And what if China played a critical role as a major buyer of that oil? Today, we're breaking down the allegations, the global oil routes, and why this story has Washington on high alert. Stay until the end, because the geopolitical consequences could reshape the balance of power in the Middle East and beyond. For years, the United States has imposed sweeping sanctions on Iran's oil exports, aiming to reduce Tehran's revenue and pressure its government over its nuclear program and regional activities. But according to multiple reports and analysts, Iranian oil exports have remained surprisingly resilient. The reason? A sophisticated network of ship-to-ship transfers, reflagged tankers, intermediaries, and buyers willing to purchase discounted crude. Many reports identify independent Chinese refineries, often called teapot refineries, as major purchasers of Iranian oil. These refineries have reportedly continued importing discounted crude despite U.S. sanctions, helping Iran maintain significant export revenue. Critics in Washington argue that these purchases weaken the effectiveness of U.S. sanctions and provide Tehran with valuable income. Supporters of Beijing, however, argue that China prioritizes its own energy security and has consistently opposed what it describes as unilateral sanctions not approved by the United Nations. Meanwhile, U.S. authorities have repeatedly announced new sanctions targeting shipping companies, tanker operators, and financial networks they say facilitate Iranian oil exports. Yet despite these enforcement efforts, analysts say Iranian crude has continued reaching international markets through increasingly complex supply chains. For global energy markets, this is more than a political dispute. It affects oil prices, international shipping, diplomatic relations, and the ongoing strategic competition between Washington and Beijing. So here's the big question. Can U.S. sanctions still achieve their intended goals if major buyers continue purchasing Iranian oil through indirect channels? Or is the global energy market simply too interconnected for any single country to fully control? One thing is certain. Energy has become one of the world's most powerful geopolitical weapons, and every tanker crossing the ocean carries consequences far beyond the price of oil. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is World Alert, bringing you the biggest global stories with facts, analysis, and the latest international developments. Stay informed. Stay ahead.